Hey YouTubers, good morning, Rob. Guys, I was working on making an underwater housing for my little Osmo Pocket, and I have to get some other parts. And I thought I still have to make a video for this week, so I thought the variety channel, I can do whatever I want. Let's talk about UFOs. Never done that in 17 years. I don't think we've talked about UFOs. I've never seen one before, but I thought I thought about it a lot. What are the 12 possibilities of UFOs? Do they really exist? What are different reasons people think they exist? And it'd be a fun video to go over. I've never seen a UFO, but like Brad, BC Truck, he told me a really good story. Him and his wife, one time in traffic out in the middle of the day, saw one, which is a fascinating story. And I had a guy I worked with years ago. When he got out of the Air Force, the only job he could find was a security guard at the dump in South Dade, which is a giant landfill, and it's isolated area. And working there at night, he saw a large triangular object come over, and it was close to the ground, and the reeds were vibrating, and one of the part caught on fire. And he said that within a couple of minutes, a fire truck from the Homestead Air Force came and put it out. And he never called anybody, and he's the only one out there. So it was very interesting. Um, so I thought it'd be fun to go over what are the different possibilities of UFOs, what do people think, and what do I think, and more importantly, in the comments, I like to hear your UFO stories and what do you think UFOs are. Brainstorming, some of these ideas are crazy, but to throw it out there, what are 12 different possibilities? Number one, some people say we are in a simulation. We don't exist. So by that reasoning, UFOs don't exist. The things we see that are UFOs don't exist because we don't exist either. We're in a simulation. I don't believe we're in a simulation. I could do a video on that why I don't believe we are, but that's number one. Number two, the most common natural phenomenon, lights and so on, glitches, technical glitches where people take videos and there's something wrong with the technology and it just looks like it really is something. Or you could have people not deliberately doing fraud, but they believe something that doesn't really exist, just made up in their own mind, and but they really think it's true. Um, so number two. Number three, secret military craft. That is high on my list. I'll go, and in the end, I'll go over which one I think are the most likely. But military craft is on high on my list. Number four, this is where you're going to turn off and unsubscribe, is time travelers. I happen to believe that could be a possibility. Now they say it's impossible, but there's just something in me that feels that it would. I never understood why people from other planets or beings or whatever would come to this planet, but I do think if it was possible to time travel, that our own race, our own, or even inhabitants, even if we weren't the same race, would be interested in this planet. It's just like if you have a radio that could magically play radio stations from 100 years ago, you'd be listening to the one your town, your city, your state, your country. If you're in the USA, you wouldn't be listening to an Albanian radio station from 1920. You'd be tuning into what were they playing, 100 years ago where you're at. So I don't think people from other planets would be coming here if they were time traveling. I think it's people from our planet. You can unsubscribe now. Robot craft from past civilizations is the most fun one, but I think it's not very likely. Craft from our solar system, would explain a lot, but it's not high on my list. Number seven, craft from other planets and galaxies. That would explain a lot, but it's not the highest on my list. Craft from other dimensions. I don't get paid enough. I don't know enough to talk about other dimensions. I'm barely able to function this one. So I threw it up there. I don't. You could maybe talk about it. It's over. It's over. Craft have to be faster than the speed of light. I think that's a given. That if we're seeing living things out there that are going faster than the speed of light, um, that's interesting on a lot of different levels. So if they're coming from other planets, solar systems, galaxies, they have to be going pretty fast. And I think it'd be necessary for them to go faster than the speed of light to be worthwhile to come here. Number 10, you have reports of craft being stationary and going like 3 miles away in a matter of seconds. physically that's impossible for most life forms because they're not able to survive something like that. So whatever is in those craft, they're moving like that, they either are not biological or they're some sort of android type of item. That's not. I don't foresee biological um, life forms being able to travel at the speed people have been seeing these craft go. So that's interesting. Number 11, we are in a simulation and also being visited by UFOs, which is the least likely of them all. And finally, my favorite is a combination of them all. And I think the most likely is number 1, natural phenomenon, glitches, or people imagining things. 2, secret military aircraft. 4, time travelers. These others are not as likely. Robot craft from past civilizations. The most fun on the whole list. Number 6, craft from our solar system, which would make sense because people or things or whatever from our solar system might be interested in our planet as opposed to galaxies far away. Number 7, craft from other planets. You still might have that possibility of people coming and life forms coming from other planets or galaxies to our planet from outside our solar system, but it's not as likely, but it's possible. And number 9, craft, they have to be faster than the speed of light. And if there are living things in these craft going super fast, they have to have a different form of biology, or there's something going on with their physics that we're not aware of. So those are 12 things that I thought off the top of my head what possible reasons could there be for us imagining there are UFOs. It's fascinating subject. It is a little bit of a distraction from a lot of problems that we have going on, and to be thinking about something like this. But it's fun to think about. It's so fun to think about. Um, and I'd be interested to hear your stories and what are your imaginings, because this is my imaginings. What do I know? Um, and I'm voting on time travelers because if time travel is possible, then I still exist somewhere, which is comforting in some ways. There were some days I would like to forget and not have other people remember or be able to visit, but overall, yeah. So those are my reasons. I thought you might have a little enjoyment from something different instead of sandwich toaster videos and how to make underwater housings for the Osmo Pocket. All right, guys, take care and beam me up.